Jing gained power within the board of directors. He's decisive and capable. The more he thought about it, the angrier and more terrified he became. His heir was someone else's mistress, and his multi-billion-dollar Junfa group was being played by a playboy. He was furious. Li Rubing asked Su Ruin without hesitation, "Uncle, are you perhaps trying to arrange a blind date for Qin Jing to get rid of Wu Chen?" She smiled meaningfully. "I think you'd better not do that. It could be fatal." Su Ruin couldn't hide his anger. Ridiculous. As a father, how could I let my daughter be his mistress? He even wants to kill me. No, you misunderstood. I wasn't talking about you, but about those blind date candidates. Whoever dares to meet Qin Jing will die. Su Ruin looked at her with disbelief. Really? But Ding Rulong doesn't seem to be dead yet. Or is Qin Jing more important to Wu Chen than Miss Li and Ding Rulong? I bet he won't survive this year. He almost lost his arm in Donghai a few days ago. Luckily, he ran fast. Su Ruin broke out in a cold sweat, remembering the rumors about Ding Rulong's near crippling. He thought it was a false rumor spread by the Li family, but it turned out to be true. Ding Rulong was a talented young man among the major families in the country, yet he couldn't defeat Wu Chen. He felt puzzled and asked Li Rubing, if Ding Rulong dies, the power of the major families in the country will be disrupted. The Li family might become stronger because of this, or it might collapse. Are you just going to let Wu Chen cause such a disaster? To be honest, my father met with Wu Chen privately a while ago. Since then, whenever something happens at home, my father goes to Wu Chen for advice. Su Ruin understood. He muttered, "So Li Marin has acknowledged this son-in-law." No, the key is not acknowledging the son-in-law. The key is that Li Marin approves of Wu Chen killing Ding Rulong. The Li family wants to join forces with Wu Chen to overthrow the Ding family. He sighed. I thought he was just a snot-nosed kid, but he turned out to be a hidden dragon. Li Rubing looked at Su Ruin's attitude and guessed that he was wavering. The rest was up to him to think about. "Uncle, I have something to do at the company. I'll go first. Let's talk again when we have the chance." "Okay, let's talk later. Goodbye." After Li Rubing left, Su Ruin sat there thinking, I can't believe Qin Jing tricked me. I'll investigate thoroughly. Who is Wu Chen? I have to find out. Elsewhere, 5 minutes later, Wu Chen received a call from Wu Yurong. "Hello, Sister Wu." Li Rubing told Su Ruin everything. "Su Ruin invited me to dinner tonight." What is Li Rubing trying to do? How should I explain to Su Ruin? Wu Chen replied calmly, "Just tell the truth." Yurong felt awkward. My daughter is 20 years old. Should I tell him that I'm interfering in someone else's relationship? Sister Wu, what I mean is, you should talk about tonight. I'll meet with you tonight. You mean you know that Su Ruin will invite me to dinner tonight? You've already planned for the 3 of us to go together. Yes, let's meet at 8 o'clock tonight. Scene change. 7:40 p.m. Yurong arrived at the restaurant to have dinner with Su Ruin. They started reminiscing about the past. Yurong, we've known each other for so many years, 30 years. When I first met you, I was only 19 years old. You were only in 4th grade. In the blink of an eye, I'm already old. In a couple of years, this old body of mine will be gone. Qin Jing hasn't been in the company for long. I haven't taught her much and I'm worried. So, Yurong, for the sake of our long friendship, tell this old man the truth. Wu Chen, who is he? Qin Jing, and even you. Why are you his mistresses? Yurong rested her chin on her hand and replied dreamily, because he's handsome. Su Ruin didn't believe it. He knew Yurong's personality well. Yurong, you know how many people have pursued you. You rejected the richest man in Asia and the oil tycoons in the Middle East. Now you're Wu Xian's mistress just because he's handsome. Who would believe that, Mr. Su? For the sake of our friendship, I just want to advise you not to be impulsive. If it's something that can be negotiated, then don't be impulsive. You mean you want me not to provoke Wu Chen? Yes, Mr. Su. I hope our friendship can continue, but if something uncontrollable happens, I can't promise I'll be on your side. As they were talking, Wu Chen arrived. Mr. Wu, you're here too. Good. Let's make everything clear today. Mr. Su, we meet again. You've really opened my eyes. Wu Chen sat down next to Wu Yurong. Mr. Su, You're exaggerating. You're Qin Jing's father. I have to remind you that there are some things that once you hear them, there's no turning back. Are you sure you want to hear them? Su Ruin thought to himself. He's clearly threatening me. It seems he doesn't respect me at all. Su Ruin rolled up his sleeves and asked Wu Chen, I heard that Mr. Wu is a well-informed businessman who knows a lot of secrets. I'm curious, do you know where this scar of mine came from? Wu Chen looked at the scar and calmly replied, This scar of yours is very old. Su Ruin thought to himself. He said that. The only people in the world who have seen it and know its origin are me, my wife, and my brother. Yurong quickly realized that Su Ruin was testing Wu Chen's true abilities. Wu Chen's next words would influence Su Ruin's final decision. Wu Chen smiled calmly and said, 30 years ago, on the afternoon of October 8, 1990, you, Mr. Su, were about 20 years old and went to northern Myanmar with Tong Dang. Su Ruin broke out in a cold sweat. The time was right. The location was right. This kid. Wu Chen continued, when you dug up the Emperor Green Jadeite at the mine, there was a conflict with a bear. You and Tong Dang rushed out, but that night, those people continued to pursue you. If you hadn't blocked that knife with your hand, you would have died there. You fired a shot in self-defense and had no choice but to kill them all. This was 100% accurate. Su Ruin said coldly, That's right, I killed people. Thinking back to what happened more than 30 years ago, it's still vivid in my mind. Oh right, Mr. Wu, what else do you know about me? Wu Chen smiled slyly and said, A lot. For example, your relationship with He Meiwan. Do you need me to elaborate? Su Ruin was speechless. Wu Yurong was shocked. He Meiwan was a key figure in the He family. The He family in the capital was no less powerful than the Li family. Su Ruin and He Meiwan had something going on. His fairy-tale marriage actually had flaws. After being friends for 30 years, she couldn't bear to hear this secret anymore. Suddenly, Yurong stood up and said, Mr. Su, you and Wu Chen talk. I'll go back. Let me know if you have anything. Mr. Su, Sister Wu is gone. Shall I continue? Su Ruin gestured for Wu Chen to continue. Okay, 12 years ago, you met He Meiwan. In the end, you broke up with her 8 years ago. You and she had for years of passionate love. Mr. Su, were once humble and dignified, which made He Meiwan infatuated with you. The longer you were together, the more seriously she demanded that you divorce. In order to get rid of He Meiwan, you revealed business secrets to her competitors, so that she would be too busy with work to have time for love. This was a bit unethical. Su Ruin broke out in a cold sweat and thought, the market value of Jinfu Group and the stock price are naturally more important than personal feelings. For the sake of the group, no matter how despicable I am, I won't hesitate. I've never been a gentleman, but logically speaking, no one should know about these things. Mr. Wu, can you honestly answer one of my questions? How did you know about these things? Wu Chen replied calmly, I investigated you, Mr. Su. Su Ruin was incredulous. You're only 22 years old, so what? Can't a 22-year-old investigate? Su Ruin was speechless. Wu Chen continued, Don't target me anymore. I really like Qin Jing. I won't let her down. Although a man's oath may sound ridiculous in this day and age, this is my attitude and awareness. Mr. Su, let's not put her in a difficult position, okay? Su Ruin thought to himself, do I really have to let Qin Jing be a nameless mistress? Wu Chen smiled and raised a finger. Mr. Su, how about this? We're both men. Let's use the traditional way to solve this. What traditional way? Isn't the tradition of our China to respect the elderly and love the young, and to listen to our parents? This overbearing attitude and unwillingness to compromise implied that he was calling me father. This kid is really special. No wonder Ding Rulong couldn't defeat him. Among the younger generation, no one is probably his match. Wu Chen poured tea for Su Ruin. Su Ruin said, As long as I'm alive, I'll keep an eye on you. If you dare to treat Qin Jing badly, Wu Chen said, if you can really keep an eye on me and Qin Jing forever, I'm sure Qin Jing will be happy. An hour later, Wu Yurong was worried. It's been so long, why hasn't Wu Chen called me yet? What happened between him and Mr. Su? If they confront each other, Can I really stand on Wu Chen's side and confront Mr. Su? This is difficult. Suddenly, Wu Chen hugged Wu Yurong from behind. Sister Wu, what are you doing? Wu Yurong was overjoyed to see Wu Chen back. You're okay. That's great. That's great. Of course I'm okay. Yurong hugged Wu Chen tightly. I won't let you go anywhere today. Don't worry. I'll stay by your side. The next morning, after a night of struggling to put together puzzles and spell words until dawn, Wu Chen asked in surprise, Sister Wu, your condition has recovered quite well, hasn't it? Yurong applied lipstick and replied, You're so bad, taking all the credit. It's so annoying. Oh right, I've withdrawn all the funds related to the Ding family recently. As long as it doesn't affect business operations, I can actually raise about 2 billion. Wu Chen asked, Is your father still receiving treatment in Shanghai? Yes, I'll go to Shanghai in the next 2 days. How about I talk to him? What are you going to say? His attitude doesn't matter. What can really trap the Ding family is cash. Let me talk to him about transferring the shares to you. Wu Yurong was surprised. Do you know that my father holds 29% of the shares? 5 times more than mine. Transfer them to me. How is that possible? Wu Chen calmly massaged Wu Yurong's shoulders and replied, It's a bit difficult, but I think we can try. Besides, there's one more thing. Hezong Media will probably start investigating Chen Wu from your classmate Song. Sister Wu, you have to make arrangements in advance. Don't worry, I won't let them touch Song Zhuan at this moment. A phone call came in. Hello, Mr. Mao, what's the matter? Mr. Wu, Ding Rulong discovered that He Shikin and He Xinshan are not in Shanghai. He's looking for them everywhere. Okay, I know, I'll handle it. Sister Wu, I have something to do, so I'll go first. An hour later, Wu Chen went to meet He Shikin and He Xinshan. Teacher, you're here. Can we go out for a field trip today? Wu Chen smiled and said, We're not studying today. I'm here to help you to move. He Xinshan smiled brightly. I love moving. I'll go pack my things. He Shikin asked worriedly. Teacher, is it that person? Yes, he's looking for you too. I think he'll find out you're here soon. So we have to temporarily move to a place he can't find. Where? Li Rubing's house. He Shikin thought to herself, if we go to Miss Li's house, won't I be able to see the teacher more often? At this moment, Ding Rulong called He Shikin. She didn't know what to do. Wu Chen said, It's Ding Rulong. Don't be afraid of him, answer the phone. He Shikin angrily shouted, What do you want? Ding Rulong asked, Where are you? Where did you take Xinshan? Answer me, Wu Chen whispered. It's okay, just be honest. What are you yelling about? I'm in Donghai. Ding Rulong's voice was urgent. Damn it, Donghai. Why did you go to Donghai? Who did you go with? He Shikin said angrily, We broke up more than 10 years ago. Who I'm with now is none of your business, Ding Rulong threatened. Damn it. Come back to Shanghai immediately. Immediately. I'm warning you, He Shikin, before I kill someone, get back here. Hearing these words, He Shikin was a little scared because she knew his brutal nature. Seeing her fear, Wu Chen stepped forward to comfort her. Everything will be all right. Don't be afraid. She looked at Wu Chen with emotion and said, Teacher. With these words, He Shikin became stronger. She said, Xinshan and I haven't had enough fun yet. I won't go back. Ding Rulong was furious. He slammed his phone on the table and cursed, You dare to hang up on me. He Shikin, once I catch you, I'll skin you alive. He Shikin felt truly exhausted. She leaned against Wu Chen, her eyes filled with gratitude. Wu Chen said to her, The road ahead is still long. He won't be a shadow over your entire life. Trust me. He Shikin kissed Wu Chen on the cheek. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, teacher. Wu Chen thought of a way to provoke Ding Rulong. He turned on the phone camera and hugged He Shikin, kissing her passionately. He Shikin didn't understand what was happening and asked, Teacher, what are you doing? Wu Chen looked at the video he just recorded and said, He must be furious right now. This is to stimulate the madness within him. It's better to let him make one wrong step after another. He Shikin felt it made sense. She unbuttoned her buttons, revealing her plump breasts. Teacher, this idea is great. How about I do this? Wu Chen almost had a nosebleed. That's enough. That's enough to kill someone. As he walked, Wu Chen thought to himself, next, it's time to deal with that two-faced viper, Meng Junhao. Mr. Wu, Ding Rulong asked me to investigate you, He Shikin, and He Shinshin. What is he trying to do? Coincidentally, I'm looking for you for the same reason. Get ready to arrange for someone to pass by the scene and say that he took these photos today. Mr. Wu, why are you actively giving him information? I have my reasons. Just do as I say. That way, not only will you be fine, but you'll also gain his trust even more. Okay, Mr. Wu, I'll do as you say. 2 hours later, on the other side, Ding Rulong received the photo of He Shikin hugging and kissing Wu Chen intimately. His blood pressure soared. It's him again. That damn Wu Chen, he must die. He squeezed the photo with his injured hand, which was still bleeding. His crazed eyes were terrifying. The murderous aura within Ding Rulong surged. His whole family must die. Everyone must die. Meanwhile, at another location, Wu Chen said to Li Rubing, "Honey, I've sent the intimate photo with He Shikin to Ding Rulong. He'll definitely call you." Li Rubing's eyes widened in surprise. So soon? Why let him know that He Shikin is in our hands? This matter is related to the Dong family. He'll come to kill and silence them. He Shikin will be in danger. Wu Chen replied calmly, "He won't think of that Dong Yuan Dao. He won't think that we have the ability to contact the Dong family. He's a man of intuition. He's only targeting you. He only wants revenge on you," Li Rubing said worriedly. "Better safe than sorry." Wu Chen flicked Li Rubing's nose. "In times like these, it all depends on you, my love. You just need to poke at his sore spot with all your might. He'll definitely lose his ability to think, ultimately causing him to break down his defenses." Li Rubing suddenly changed the subject. "That man, Qin Jing's father, you suddenly threw him at me. Now it's Ding Rulong. When did I become your tool?" Wu Chen poured honeyed words into her ears. "I'm yours and you're mine. We belong to each other." Li Rubing brushed aside his words. "Cut the crap. Do you have a new plan? You're so smart." "Yes, as long as Ding Rulong falls into an extreme state, he'll definitely exhibit special behavior, just like he did with Dong Yuan Dao back then." Li Rubing asked curiously, "You want to lure him to Donghai, but didn't you say you couldn't kill him in Donghai?" Wu Chen had already calculated this. "I didn't say I would do it myself." Li Rubing's eyes widened in surprise. "You're going to kill him, but you won't do it yourself. What do you mean?" "One of his enemies will carry out justice for heaven." "Who?" "Lei Cheng's elder brother, the eldest son of the Lei family, Lei Yu." At this moment, a phone call came in. "How's it going, Mr. Wu? Ding Rulong asked me to kill you. He offered me 200 million. I had no choice but to verbally agree. So what are you going to do now?" "I certainly can't deal with Mr. Wu, but if I don't do anything, Ding Rulong will. I have to flee the country." "You don't need to flee the country. He asked you to kill me, so just do it." The man was stunned. Li Rubing said anxiously, "What nonsense are you talking about?" "Nonsense? I won't allow it. I mean, we'll put on a show. They'll send someone, but they'll fail. I'll be attacked, but I'll be fine." Li Rubing breathed a sigh of relief. "You scared me." The man was overjoyed when he understood Wu Chen's meaning. "So that's it," Wu Chen continued. "I'll plan this. We have to make sure he's alone. You know we're putting on a show. The assassin you arrange must be real." Li Rubing was worried about Wu Chen. "I won't allow you to risk your life. I can't bear that blow, honey. You should know my abilities. If I couldn't be 100% sure of my safety, I would never agree. This time, don't even think about doing it alone." "How can I let you act alone?" Okay. So you'll let me and Li Rutei participate. But you have to wait until I return from Shanghai to arrange this. Anyway, don't act rashly alone. Remember, you have me." Li Rubing nodded slightly. "Yes, I know." Scene change. A manor in Shanghai. Wu Chen sat in the car and thought to himself, "I promised Sister Wu 2 days ago that I would do this first. I have to go see Wu Yurong's father, Wu Weidong." "Hello, Mr. Wu, I'm Wu Chen. I made an appointment with you. Your reputation in Donghai has been quite prominent recently. But I heard that you have something to do with Yurong." Wu Chen replied calmly, "Yes, Mr. Wu. My relationship with Sister Wu is exactly as the rumors say. Yurong's father looked at Wu Chen with a scrutinizing gaze. Is that so? What's the purpose of your visit? Originally, Sister Wu didn't allow me to talk about these things, but I think Mr. Wu has the right to know. After all, the matter is too big and will definitely affect the entire family of the participants. Wu Weidong raised his eyebrows at Wu Chen. You are young, but you are so arrogant. Please continue. Then, Wu Chen told the truth about the Li family, Tang family, Gu family, Wu Yurong, Lai Cheng and others hunting down the Ding family. 20 minutes later, Wu Weidong looked at Wu Chen with suspicion. Yurong didn't want to tell me, but you came all the way here to tell me. What's your motive? After all, you are a highly respected senior in the business world, and the person in charge of the Wu family. You must give me an explanation. Moreover, I hope that you can transfer the shares to Sister Wu. What? The girl from the Li family can't be controlled, so you turns to someone else to brainwash. You can't play the snake swallowing elephant trick at the Li family, so you comes to my house to play. Wu Chen smiled. Mr. Wu, you're being too harsh. Sister Wu is not easily manipulated. Wu Weidong asked directly, so, is it because of great love? You and the one from the Li family are just playing around, and the one who will get married in the end is Yurong. Sister Wu and I admire and love each other. I wonder if you can understand. Sister Wu has a big plan now, and there's no turning back. I hope to increase her chances of winning, so I came here boldly to ask you to transfer your shares. Sister Wu can have today entirely thanks to a father like you, but she still has two younger brothers who have been secretly fighting with her for many years. At this time, if they hear any bad news from you, they will join hands with other shareholders to confront Sister Wu and the entire Wu family. This will cause a disaster. Wu Weidong fell silent and looked up, thinking for a moment. Wu Chen, you're right. If you come next time, come with Yurong. Compared to business, I care more about her future. Wu Chen thought to himself, the Wu family matter is settled. Now I have to go see in Menglan. An hour later, Wu Chen arrived at the company to meet in Menglan. You're here. What happened? Hezong Media retaliated for Zhou Xinglong's hot search. Su Weilai, the rising star that Waxing strongly promoted this year, couldn't stand it anymore and just jumped off the building to commit suicide. The company is working with the group to clean up the mess. Waxing Entertainment was a family business of the Yin family. Wu Chen looked at An Menglan and asked, are you blaming yourself? You look very tired. The leak of the album caused a death. How is Waxing Entertainment planning to handle this? My father just called me and told me to tell Peng Wei to stop. I'm afraid he's already negotiated with Hezong Media. There probably won't be any more conflict in the future. Wu Chen thought to himself, Waxing Entertainment has been forced to the point of losing a life. And Weiguo couldn't have negotiated peace so quickly. Showing weakness too early in a business war won't have a good ending. Mr. An is eager to appease public opinion and doesn't want the situation to escalate. But if it just stops like this, how can I drag Mr. An into this? Thinking this, Wu Chen said to An Menglan, don't worry, just proceed according to the original plan. If your father calls you again, just tell him that your partner is not willing to be stepped on by Hezong Media. An Menglan said worriedly, won't that lead to more deaths? Su Weilai was too weak. His death was an accident. There won't be anything similar happening next. Peng Wei and I will go out to deal with it later. Just wait for my news. An hour later, at an apartment in Dongpu District, Shanghai. Damn it. Why are you taking so long to undress? Are you going to be this slow during the act too? Shong Yunlu, the deputy director of Hezong Media's publicity department, said as he undressed. What's the hurry? I'm about to let you taste the power of a man. But at the climax, someone called, damn it, who's calling at this time? Answer the phone quickly, we don't have much time. He answered the phone and was immediately scared witless. Shong Yunlu, you dare to sleep with Guan Hongren's woman? He asked me to ask you, how do you want to die now? He turned pale and stammered, who are you? Where's Mr. Guan? The girl also panicked and screamed. I'm Wu Chen, just kidding. I haven't told him that you slept with his wife yet. I'll give you a chance. Come to Shanghai immediately. If you don't come or lie, Peng Wei will put you on the hot search, and your Mr. Guan will put you in jail for embezzlement. You was push Suwei to his death by putting him on the hot search. I'll give you a few minutes. Quickly take down the hot searches. Wu Chen said to Shang Yunlu, look at the hot search. Now it's Director Shen of Hezong Media. Next, it might be you. Shang Yunlu started to get scared. Mr. Wu, everything is negotiable. I'll go to Shanghai immediately. Don't be impulsive. At the same time, In Xiongjiong and Menglan's father and Waiguo, the chairman of Waxing Entertainment, looked at the news online and thought, what's wrong with Menglan's partner? He just wants to make a big deal out of this. It seems I have to go to Shanghai myself. Half an hour later, Miss Anne, why are you here? My father, he wants to come to Shanghai. It seems the no hot search made him very angry. We didn't handle things according to his wishes. Of course he's angry. But I believe that in business, as long as the benefits are great enough, all personal emotions will have to be compromised. I'll let him know everything, so, that matter between us, you'll let my father know too. Didn't I say I would let him know everything? And Menglan couldn't hide the fear in her eyes. She thought of the scene of having to kneel at Li Rubing's feet. If she wasn't careful, she would be ruined and disgraced, and her entire family would be humiliated. She would also have to kneel and apologize to Li Rubing. No, I don't want. Wu Chen reassured and Menglan, it's okay, don't overthink it. He then turned to the other man and said, get ready, we're going to wait for Shang Yunlu 2 hours later. Shang Yunlu rushed to meet Wu Chen. He shook Wu Chen's hand and asked, Boss Peng, is this Mr. Wu? Wu Chen calmly explained, that's my stage name for music. My name is Wu Chen. He politely gestured for Shang Yunlu to sit down. Without wasting time, Wu Chen went straight to the point. Do you know why I asked you to meet me here? Shang Yunlu started sweating. Mr. Wu, please don't beat around the bush. Just tell me what you want me to do, Mr. Shang. You can actually fall in love with Guan Hongren's wife. To be honest, I still admire you quite a bit. There isn't much pure love left in this world. Do you want to marry her? Shang Yunlu furrowed his brows and hesitated. He understood the hidden meaning in Wu Chen's words. Wu Chen continued, I didn't ask you to come to Shanghai to threaten you. I hope we can cooperate. For example, put Guan Hongren in jail, and you'll become the president of Hezong Media, understand? Therefore, I need some documents, Shang Yunlu immediately said. Mr. Wu, Mr. Guan is the founder of Hezong Media, and I'm just a middle-level manager. The documents you need are beyond my reach. Wu Chen calmly crossed his arms. You're overthinking it. I don't need Hezong Media's trade secrets, and I don't need you to infiltrate any dangerous places. Then what do you want from me, Mr. Wu? I need the files with the code starting with SC on the internal network storage server of your publicity department. Shang Yunlu seemed to have guessed Wu Chen's intention. Mr. Wu, you want to get the dark love scandals and criminal evidence of celebrities that Hezong Media has collected on other companies over the years. Wu Chen continued, not only that, after copying them for me, you also have to completely delete the original on Hezong Media's server. That way, even if Waxing Entertainment goes to war with Hezong Media, without the documents, Hezong Media will have no weapons to retaliate. And Waiguo's Waxing Entertainment will be invincible. Shang Yunlu hesitated for a moment and then said, I'm not very good with computers. Deleting those things might be detected, right? There are also access logs. I probably can't do this. If you delete it directly, it will definitely leave traces. So I made a program. Wu Chen pointed to the computer. Look, when you go back to the company, use this program to access the storage server, enter the folder name here, set the deletion time here, finish the settings, and finally click here. Understand? Shang Yunlu broke out in a cold sweat as he looked at Wu Chen. He wasn't very brave, but this time, Wu Chen had him cornered, so he had no choice. I understand, but I'm not sure if there's another backup. Wu Chen affirmed, there's a backup in the black safe at Guan Hongren's house. Thinking that he had to break into Guan Hongren's house, Shang Yunlu was terrified. Then it's even more impossible, Mr. Wu. I can't even get into Mr. Guan's house. I just said I don't need you to infiltrate anywhere else. Call your love. She knows about this. Shang Yunlu's face twisted. Mr. Wu, you want to use her. Wu Chen's voice became more decisive. Mr. Shang, this isn't a romantic drama. I'm running out of patience. Will you do it or not? Shang Yunlu was caught in a weak spot. He had no choice but to follow Wu Chen's request. I'll do it. I'll do it. Shang Yunlu took out his phone and immediately called Vivi. Vivi, for the sake of her lover, also agreed to cooperate. As long as you're okay, I'll do it, but I don't know the password to the safe. Shang Yunlu said to Wu Chen, Mr. Wu, she said she doesn't know the password. Wu Chen smiled confidently. It's okay, I know. On the other side, Vivi followed Wu Chen's instructions and turned the knob of the safe counterclockwise 3 times, stopping at the number 12 on the 3rd turn. Then, she turned it clockwise 2 times, stopping at the 27th mark. Finally, she turned it clockwise once, stopping at the 36th mark. She then entered 92, 56, 75, following Wu Chen's instructions. Vivi successfully opened her husband's safe. She asked Wu Chen, what should I do next? I need you to take a picture of the inside of the safe, including the solid-state drive. You also need to be in the picture. Finally, delete all the contents on the hard drive. After everything was done, Shang Yunlu asked Wu Chen, Vivi has done everything according to your request. Mr. Wu, can I leave now? Wu Chen smiled. Since you're already here, why don't you wait until tomorrow? I'll introduce you to someone, and then you can leave. It won't be too late. Shang Yunlu remained silent. Meanwhile, at An Menglan's company, Dad, didn't you say you were coming tomorrow? Why did you come so suddenly? And Waiguo replied calmly, Menglan, where's your business partner? Call him to meet me and Peng Wei too. Ask him to come as well. And Menglan was puzzled. Dad, didn't we already talk about this? I'll handle my music, and you won't interfere with my company. I don't usually interfere, but recently, 50% of your company's shares were transferred to someone surnamed Zhang and Hezong Media. Why is the situation escalating? If I don't manage it anymore, your company might be gone. I'm not a 3-year-old child. I know what I'm doing. Trading 50% of the shares for a top-notch talent, I think it's completely fine. And Waiguo said angrily, top-notch talent. First, let me see how much this top-notch talent is worth. I told you to call him here quickly, and Menglan took out her phone and called Wu Chen. Hello, my dad is here. He's eager to see you. I didn't expect Mr. N to be so impatient. Okay, I'll be right there. Half an hour later, Wu Chen arrived at An Menglan's company. Hello, Mr. An, I'm Miss An's music partner. My name is Wu Chen, and Waiguo shook Wu Chen's hand. Genius, hello. Wu Chen humbly said, that's just a publicity stunt. Don't believe it too much, Mr. An. Are you admitting that you're all talk and no action? And Menglan was a little unhappy with her father's attitude towards Wu Chen. She whispered, Dad, what are you doing? Wu Chen looked directly into An Waiguo's eyes and affirmed, that's not the case, and Waiguo leaned closer to Wu Chen's face. So you're very capable. Wu Chen's expression was calm. Yes, that's what I mean. It's a real ability that can shine whenever I want. And Waiguo frowned and fell silent. After pondering for a while, An Waiguo burst into laughter. A confident and arrogant young man who can become famous at any time. You're the most outstanding person I've ever met. What's more remarkable is that you can turn that arrogance into motivation for success. So, I'll change the question. If you're so capable, how long do you plan to be famous? Can you dominate the Chinese music scene for a lifetime? Wu Chen replied, I'll retreat quickly. In the future, I can write songs for others to receive awards. As for me, writing and releasing music is just a game. But Mr. An, the reason I came here is not to talk about my future career plans. Wu Chen then called An Menglan. Menglan, come here. And Waiguo looked at his daughter's obedient demeanor and felt puzzled. Why was Menglan so docile and obedient? This didn't feel like a simple partnership. Wu Chen leaned closer to An Menglan, intending to publicly acknowledge their relationship, and Menglan looked away silently. Wu Chen continued, Mr. An, actually, Menglan and I have already committed to each other for a future marriage. And Waiguo's eyes widened in anger. What's going on? He muttered to himself, wait, I only remember his identity as the musician Chen Wu. I forgot he said his name was Wu Chen, and Waiguo muttered, Wu Chen, this name is similar to the couple in the recent rumors. Wu Chen confirmed with An Weiguo, yes, I am the boyfriend of the eldest daughter of the Li family, Li Ruping. An Weiguo pointed at Wu Chen in anger. So what exactly are you playing at? He anxiously asked his daughter, Menglan, tell me, how did he deceive you? And Menglan broke out in a cold sweat. Dad, that's not the case. Wu Chen interrupted. Let me explain. He stood confidently in front of An Weiguo and said, Mr. An, Menglan and me are officially dating. However, the person I will marry in the future is Li Ruping. Menglan is very clear about this. I have never deceived or lied to her. An Weiguo clenched his fists in anger. Menglan, you agreed to be this man's mistress. And Menglan panicked. Dad, we truly love each other. He's very good to me. An Weiguo pointed at An Menglan. Menglan, for the past 20 years, you've always been the most obedient child, the pride of our family. You've never been foolish for love, Wu Chen. No matter how capable you are, don't even dream of continuing your relationship with Menglan. Wu Chen remained calm. Mr. An, don't be too harsh, or you'll regret it. Hearing this, An Weiguo sneered. Are you crazy? I'll regret stopping my daughter from being your mistress. He grabbed An Menglan's hand. Menglan, come back to Hong Kong with me. From now on, never see this madman again. An Menglan cried out in panic. Dad? Wu Chen continued. Mr. An, your daughter is following me. I've prepared the betrothal gifts. Do you want to hear me out? An Weiguo scoffed. Dowry, a lot of money, right? Does our An family in Hong Kong need your money? An Menglan was dragged away by her father, tears streaming down her face. Wu Chen continued, Mr. An, the era of the Hong Kong market paved with gold is over. If the An family wants to develop, it must enter the mainland. But Hezong Media alone is difficult to deal with, let alone the other families that are lurking. Although you've invested in many fields, being too greedy is hard to swallow. To this day, compared to its heyday, the An family's assets have declined significantly. Hearing this, An Weiguo's worries were piqued. He stopped and asked, what exactly are you trying to say? Wu Chen went straight to the point. Let me be frank. The betrothal gift I'm offering for Menglan is 100 billion. The An family's assets will directly double. This is enough to support your industrial upgrading plan, Mr. An. An Weiguo thought Wu Chen was boasting and sneered. 100 billion, not 1,000 yuan. Our An family has accumulated this wealth over 3 generations. How old are you? Can you do this? Sorry, I can't understand how you can say 100 billion so casually, so lightly. Wu Chen continued calmly. Hezong Media and related financial institutions, you understand. If you can successfully merge Hezong Media and Waxing Entertainment, the value of the benefits will far exceed 100 billion. It might even monopolize the entire Chinese entertainment industry. I hope you won't refuse, Mr. An, otherwise, Waxing Entertainment and Hezong Media will expose each other's scandals. The industry's dark side will be exposed, and the entire entertainment industry will face a disaster due to the government's purge. At that time, disaster will be overwhelming, and no one will be able to bear it. Hearing this, An Weiguo gritted his teeth. So it was you behind all this. Wu Chen snapped his fingers. Peng Wei, bring Mr. Shong in. Peng Wei grinned and bowed. Hello, Mr. An. Wu Chen introduced. Mr. An, this is Shong Yunlu from Hezong Media. He's currently working for me. Mr. Shong, show Mr. An the documents. Shong Yunlu brought over a stack of files. Mr. An, there's a lot here. Take your time, and Weiguo verified the authenticity of the documents. After reading them for a long time, he clicked his tongue. It's truly the entire dark side of the industry. He turned to Wu Chen, surprised. To be able to collect these things, I have to admit your investigative abilities. But if you can collect them, can't others do the same? Young man, don't underestimate the world. Wu Chen replied calmly, Mr. An, all the dark materials that Hezong Media holds have been copied by me, and I hear Mr. Shong will return tomorrow and delete the original files. Wu Chen held An Menglan's hand and smiled. Therefore, everything is ready. This public opinion war will continue until Hezong Media is defeated and merged. And the new CEO of Hezong Media will be An Menglan. And Weiguo was speechless. This was crazy. Didn't you just say that exposing this would lead to a disaster for the entire entertainment industry? Forget it. I'm too lazy to talk nonsense with you. I'll give you 1 day. You can struggle on your own. And Menglan burst into tears. Wu Chen comforted her. Forget it, Menglan. Let's go back to the hotel first. We'll deal with tomorrow's matters tomorrow. They quickly returned to the hotel. Knowing that this might be their last night together, and Menglan took the initiative to get close to Wu Chen, she unbuttoned her shirt. This is our last night together. She pushed Wu Chen down, surprising him. Menglan, you and Menglan blushed. Don't waste time talking. Tonight and tomorrow, we won't sleep. Let's do everything we want to do in this life. I don't want to have any regrets. And Menglan's eyes welled up with tears. Wu Chen, what will we do in the future? I had a fight with my father. You know, he said he would only give us 1 day. Wu Chen remained calm, closing his eyes and comforting in Menglan. It's okay. Even if the sky falls, I'll still be here. And Menglan turned away. You don't understand. You don't understand at all. Wu Chen turned and kissed her shoulder gently. You think I didn't really argue with your father? I showed him all the evidence, even the insider. He knows exactly what I'm going to do and what I'm preparing. That's enough, and Menglan cried even harder, tears streaming down her cheeks. But he's still not convinced. He doesn't accept that reason. Wu Chen whispered, there's still 1 day left. Someone will come to convince him. In the afternoon, Wu Chen dressed up and said to Menglan, I have something to do this afternoon, but I'll be back with you. How's this outfit? Handsome, right? And Menglan was feeling down and wasn't in the mood for Wu Chen's jokes. I'm not in the mood to joke with you, Wu Chen continued. Let's go stargazing tonight. And Menglan snapped, stop talking nonsense. Come back early after you're done. She watched Wu Chen's retreating figure with worrying in her heart. She told herself, just 1 day, it will pass quickly. When night fell, knowing that Menglan was sad, Wu Chen texted her as soon as he left. I love you forever. She read the message and couldn't hold back her tears. Outside, people were discussing the hottest news of the past half hour. Damn, did you see? And Menglan confessed her love. Who's her boyfriend? There was a scandal before. Was it the same guy? Oh, this is an interesting story. It gives me goosebumps. Li Rubing, after reading the news, muttered, like to Neil. Good, good, good. Su Qingyu was also surprised. This in Menglan is not simple. Wu Yurong also thought Menglan was interesting after reading the news. Meanwhile, when Wu Chen arrived, Peng Wei said anxiously, Mr. Wu, the internet has exploded. Messen caused such a commotion. Will it affect us? Wu Chen replied calmly. Those people don't care much about entertainment news. Don't worry, Li Maoren said. Anyone who can sit here is not considered an outsider. Let's skip the formalities and get started. Wu Chen, and Weiguo was puzzled. I came here because Mr. Tung asked me to. I just met these people. Why did they say there were no outsiders here? The key was that Wu Chen. Why was he here like the main character? Holding a stack of documents, Wu Chen declared, Hezong Media, I will definitely let Menglan swallow it. The Sun family is also participating in this plan, but Mr. Sun is ill and couldn't come. Uncles, please take a look at the plan documents. He turned to Weiguo with a smile. Mr. An, do you have any questions? Weiguo finally realized the situation. I understand. Wu Chen is helping me build connections. This kind of internal meeting is only accessible to the major families in the mainland. Why is he the main character? Isn't he just a madman? However, Weiguo couldn't help but wonder. He broke out in a cold sweat. But if he's really just a madman, how could he be in this position? Li Maoren speaks up. In other words, as long as alpha families, Li, Tong, Gu and Sun, support the Yin family and do nothing, each family can get 7% of the shares of Hezong Media. Wu Chen smiled. Just offer a small amount of shares to make new friends. I believe Mr. An won't refuse. Weiguo thought to himself, this meant that through Wu Chen's manipulation, his own family wouldn't have to do anything and could still receive 70% of Hezong Media's shares for free. I could even form an alliance with several major families. Second Master Tung, seeing the good deal, smiled. Wu Chen, You're quite thoughtful. Remember me whenever you have a good project. I really regret not knowing you sooner. Mr. Li is truly fortunate. Therefore, this time, I must get to know Wu Chen. Seeing the major family heads valuing Wu Chen so much made Weiguo extremely puzzled. These big bosses all treated Wu Chen like a treasure, but I thought Wu Chen was a madman. Maybe I was the crazy one. With these people supporting him, a Hezong media was nothing. How did Wu Chen find them? Or did they have a relationship that outsiders didn't know about? What else was Wu Chen hiding? Wu Chen patted Weiguo's shoulder, startling him. Mr. An, do you have any other questions? And Weiguo replied, No, no more. Second Master Tong opened a bottle of wine and started the party. Then let's open the wine. I heard Mr. An just arrived yesterday, right? Come, let me welcome you and wash away the dust. Welcome to Shanghai. This cooperation can only be considered an appetizer. I hope we can have more sincere cooperation in future projects. After drinking with the big bosses for a while, Weiguo, slightly tipsy, walked over to Wu Chen and whispered, Wu Chen, I take back what I said yesterday. Menglan cried all night. Wu Chen replied, Mr. An, you scared her. Weiguo said sincerely, to be honest, the idea of her being your concubine makes me very uncomfortable, but I hope she can be happy. Do you understand? Wu Chen replied frankly, she will definitely be happy. Meanwhile, in Donghai City, Li Rubing felt anxious. It's been so long. What is Wu Chen doing? He doesn't even have time to call. What is he planning again? Her sisters comforted her. Don't be impatient. This matter shouldn't be blown out of proportion. Mu Qianchen suddenly said, Big bad guy, super playboy. Li Rubing stood up. Forget it. Book me a flight to Shanghai. I must arrive in Shanghai by tomorrow morning at the latest. Back in Shanghai, Menglan was startled when Wu Chen recounted the previous events. Really, my dad, he changed his mind. Yes, let's go stargazing, great. Menglan gave Wu Chen a passionate kiss. Suddenly, she stopped and said worriedly, No, this isn't good. Li Rubing, seeing Menglan's expression, Wu Chen realized, You're not worried about your father anymore, you're starting to worrying about Li Rubing. Huh. Menglan blushed. Li Rubing. Wu Chen caressed Menglan's cheek. Don't overthink it. You're tired after a long day. Don't worry about anything now, just get some sleep. The next morning, while he was sleeping, Wu Chen was startled awake by a sudden change. Rubing, why are you here? He saw Li Rubing standing in front of him, holding a gun with anger in her eyes. Wu Chen appeared calm. You look so cute when you're angry. Li Rubing put a finger to his lips, silencing him. With her other hand, she slammed the gun on the table. Shut up. The commotion startled Menglan awake. Wake up, Li Rubing shouted, as Menglan opened her eyes and sat up. A gun was pointed at her head. She screamed in terror. Wu Chen grabbed Li Rubing's hand. Honey, it's better to put this away. Menglan hid behind Wu Chen and explained, Miss Li, please don't. I wasn't angry with you yesterday, I just... Before she could finish, Li Rubing interrupted. I reminded you and warned you. I thought I made it very clear, but you? Who do you think I am? You're still silent. Are you looking down on me? Seeing Li Rubing's anger, Wu Chen intervened. Enough, Rubing. What do you really want to do to her? It's so early in the morning. Menglan whispered to Wu Chen, Don't be like this. Don't argue with Miss Li anymore. Seeing their closeness, Li Rubing became even more furious. She pulled her arm free from Wu Chen's grasp and pointed the gun at him. You're still defending her. Suddenly, Menglan rushed forward to shield Wu Chen. Wu Chen knew that Li Rubing wouldn't hurt him, but he was surprised by Menglan's love for him. Menglan. Seeing this scene, Li Rubing thought to herself, just now she was so scared, but she actually... She said to Menglan, I didn't expect you to have such deep feelings for Wu Chen, just like I do for him. Menglan, little sister, let's reconcile, forget about it. Menglan was confused. Miss Li, you don't need me to kneel anymore. And Miss Li, calling me Menglan, little sister, what does that mean? Oh, I see. You don't need to kneel anymore. Menglan was overjoyed and tears welled up in her eyes. Really, thank you, Miss Li, Wu Chen smiled. That's right, your little sister Menglan, yesterday, She posted a Weibo yesterday, and now there are reporters and paparazzi all outside the hotel. Sister Rubing, do you want to help? Li Rubing grimaced. You're always teasing and deceiving me, you bad guy. Wu Chen smiled at Li Rubing. There's no other way. Some things only my secret lover can do. Li Rubing sighed. I must have owed you a debt in my past life. 10 minutes later, seeing Wu Chen and Li Rubing walking out together, the reporters started discussing. Oh, isn't that Miss Li Rubing, so fashionable and stylish? Look at her stomach, her movements. She's pregnant before marriage. But isn't she having an emotional entanglement with young Master Ding? To play her role, Li Rubing covered her mouth and pretended to be nauseous. This is solid evidence. Quick, take pictures. Wu Chen thought to himself, Minglan is finally safe. After passing the reporters, Wu Chen said to Li Rubing, let's leave the Shanghai matter as it is for now, honey. Anything else happened in the past 2 days? If you're free, come to Hong Kong with me. Li Rubing was puzzled. Why do you suddenly want to go there? Wu Chen explained, originally, and Weibo was also a target that Ding Rulong wanted to win over. But after the N family boarded our ship, Ding's target shifted to another family in Hong Kong, the Bao family. I received news that there's a football match in Hong Kong the day after tomorrow. Ding Rulong plans to control the match and give the hundreds of millions earned as a meeting gift to the third-generation young master of the Bao family. It was always me playing with him before. This time, I want you to come with me. Do I even need to say it? Of course I'll go with you. 2 days later, in Hong Kong. Welcome, Miss Li. This way, this way. Rubing, this is an old friend of mine, the top hostess in the 11th district of Yinshaw, Miss Terrico. This is my girlfriend, Li Rubing. Nice to meet you. Miss Li Rubing whispered to Wu Chen. Didn't we come to stop Ding Rulong? Why are you talking about hostesses now, honey? She's the key player in this. Wu Chen turned to Terrico. Right, Terrico, how did you handle the matter I entrusted to you over the phone? Terrico replied, about that, take a look. She pointed to a group of girls, all dressed provocatively and looking alluring. Li Rubing grimaced. What do you mean? The key players I designated from both teams, who were supposed to play the fake match, have been exhausted in bed for the past 2 nights. Look at them now, they can't even play a fake match. Very good, let's enjoy this hilarious match. 45 minutes later, the score was still 0-0. Bao Zhenhui, the talented third generation of the Bao family in Hong Kong, wondered, young Master Ding, the score isn't what you said. How are we going to make money? Ding Rulong stood up anxiously and rushed to ask the coach, what's going on? Damn it, he thought to himself, this year is truly unlucky. Nothing is going smoothly. His eyes suddenly stopped at Wu Chen. Oh, that's Wu Chen and Rubing. Why are they there? Bao Zhenhui asked, do you know someone on the field? A rubbish named Wu Chen, but wherever he is, nothing goes well. Bao Zhenhui was curious. There's such a strange thing. And he even brought Miss Terrico here. I can guess what's going on. Forget it, young Master Ding. Let's not watch this match anymore. Young Master Bao, don't you think there's still a chance if we rearrange things a bit? You don't understand. There's nothing left to rearrange. Ding Rulong looked at Wu Chen and thought to himself, no matter who he is, causing trouble in Hong Kong means he doesn't respect the Bao family. I want to see what you are capable of. After the match, Wu Chen announced to everyone, the match is over. The score is still 0-0. Everyone did their best. Eat, drink, and have fun for the next 2 days. It's all on me, the girls cheered. Thank you, Wu Chen. Come visit us again when you're free. Terrico checked her phone and then turned to Wu Chen. Are you free to talk privately now? Wu Chen looked at her and replied, let's finish things here first. But Terrico seemed urgent. I can't wait. She leaned close to Wu Chen's ear, whispering intimately. Li Rubing, seeing this, felt a pang of jealousy. What's going on? What are they doing in front of me? Does she also have something with Wu Chen? As they were leaving, Li Rubing asked Wu Chen directly, Terrico seems very close to you. What's going on between you two? However, Wu Chen interrupted her. Honey, we'll talk about that later. Let's step back a bit first. Suddenly, a group of men appeared in front of them. But their target wasn't Wu Chen and Li Rubing, but another group of men in black. The two groups clashed violently as soon as they saw each other. Wu Chen stepped back and calmly took out his phone to record the fight. Li Rubing asked curiously, "Honey, when did Lo Dao and his friends arrive in Hong Kong?" Wu Chen replied while recording, "They were here from the beginning." Terrico said the Bao family instructed them to take pictures. Tomorrow's headline news will be about the wealthy Li family from the mainland being involved with the underworld. But Lo Dao is Burmese, so this will become a conflict between the Hong Kong underworld and Burmese forces. We're just bystanders watching the show. Their plan has failed, Li Rubing finally understood. "So that's what Miss Terrico wanted to tell you." "I misunderstood her, I thought," Wu Chen said. "Not entirely. She definitely has good intentions towards me, but I can't," Li Rubing sighed. "This is the first time I've seen you not entangled with a beautiful woman. How strange." Wu Chen praised Terrico in terms of intelligence. "Her abilities are on par with mine, but she's ultimately an outsider. If a situation arises that harms China, no matter how good our friendship is, I would have to take action against her. Therefore, I will never have that kind of relationship with her." "It seems you're jealous." Li Rubing tiptoed and kissed Wu Chen. "This is your reward." Wu Chen reacted quickly, hugging Li Rubing's waist and kissing her passionately. "Is the reward too simple? How about a more thorough reward back at the hotel?" Li Rubing playfully scolded him, "You devil." The next day, at the Bao group seeing Li Rubing and Wu Chen, the receptionist asked, "Sir, madam, do you have an appointment?" "No, just tell your boss that Wu Chen is here to see him." The receptionist picked up the phone and informed, "Young master, there's a man named Wu Chen here without an appointment. He says he wants to see you, Wu Chen." "Let him in." Entering the room, Wu Chen said politely, "Young master Bao, I hope it's okay that I came unannounced." Bao Zhenhui smiled, "You won twice yesterday. So cool." "Of course it's okay. What brings you here today?" Wu Chen replied, "Whatever Ding Rulong wants to do with you, I'll do the same." Ding Rulong interjected, "Rubing, if your boyfriend doesn't even know basic etiquette, how will he ever fit into our circle?" Wu Chen leaned closer to Ding Rulong's face, but spoke to Bao Zhenhui, "To fit into your circle with etiquette. Perhaps it should be with benefits." Ding Rulong was speechless in the face of Wu Xian's words. Bao Zhenhui, on the other hand, was quite curious. "Oh, tell me more. The football match yesterday that Ding Rulong sent you money for failed. Do you know why? Because there were too many uncontrollable factors. If it were me, I would never choose football, I would choose horse racing." Ding Rulong shouted angrily, "What do you want? I've already investigated your ancestors for 18 generations. You've never gambled before, don't talk nonsense." Bao Zhenhui seemed interested in Wu Chen's words. He said, "Young Master Ding, don't be hasty. Let me hear what he has to say." Wu Chen said, "I'll personally participate." "Young Master Bao, all you need to do is bet on me. Whether you bet big or small is up to you." Hearing this, Bao Zhenhui and Ding Rulong burst into laughter. "That's it." Ding Rulong, thinking that Wu Chen was all talk and no action, he said, "Wu Chen, don't use those tricks you use to deceive women on us." "Okay," Wu Chen reminded Ding Rulong, "have I ever lied? Winning against you once might be luck, but I've won against you 6 or 8 times already." Was it all luck? Bao Zhenhui also seemed skeptical, but he still wanted to try. "Since you've said so much, I'll give you a chance. Let's sign a gambling agreement. If you can make me win, we'll be friends. But if you lose, you have to compensate me 3 billion. How about that?" Wu Chen was full of confidence. "If I want to win, I will definitely win. Since we're gambling, let's make it big. If I lose, I'll be your slave. If I win, I want you to slap Ding Rulong every time you see him and record a video of it." Hearing Wu Chen's words, Ding Rulong was furious. "Wu Chen, you're going to fire?" Bao Zhenhui, however, found it extremely interesting. He laughed loudly. "Wu Chen, let's make it official." "It's settled then." Li Rubing was puzzled. She muttered, suddenly acting like children. "Gambling? How strange." 2 hours later, Wu Chen was ready, sitting on the saddle. Bao Zhenhui looked at him and exclaimed, "Wu Chen looks quite impressive, doesn't he?" Li Rubing pouted. "Of course he does." Ding Rulong was so angry he wanted to punch something. He turned away and clicked his tongue. A moment later, Wu Chen started the race. Seeing another rider in the lead, Ding Rulong said gleefully, "Look, he's in first place." How can Wu Chen win? Li Rubing glanced at Ding Rulong and reminded him, "The race